far behind, requested to come closer, please. It's a very short program, inshallah. And inshallah, after that, this food will be served. So nothing to worry about, inshallah. Okay, inshallah, we're going to begin today's program with the recitation from the Holy Quran with Maulana Muawiyah Sahib, who also accompanied us on this journey. He is my respected Ustaz's son. I request Maulana to come forward.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير وآتينا موسى الكتاب وجعلنا معه أخاه هارون وزيرا وجعلناه هدى لبني إسرائيل ألا تتخذوا من دوني وكيلا ذرية من حملنا مع نوح إنه كان عبدا شكورا وقضينا إلى بني إسرائيل في الكتاب لتفسدن في الأرض مرتين ولتعلن علوا كبيرا فإذا جاء وعد أولاهما بعثنا عليكم عبادا لنا أولي بأس شديد فجاسوا خلال الديار وكان وعدا مفعولا ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم بأموال وبنين وجعلناكم أكثر نفيرا إن أحسنتم لأنفسكم وإن أسأتم فلها فإذا جاء وعد الآخرة ليسوءوا وجوهكم وليدخلوا المسجد كما دخلوه أول مرة وليتبروا ما علوا تتبيرا عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم وإن نسأتم فلها عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم وإن عدتم عدنا وجعلنا جهنم للكافرين حسيرا إن هذا القرآن يهدي للتي هي أقوم ويبشر المؤمنين الذين يعملون الصالحات أن لهم أجرا كبيرا وأن الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة أعتدنا لهم عذابا أليما صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah. Now we're going to request Maulana Ahmed Sahib to come forward.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before I start my recitation, I would like to share a little story with you, which is unique to myself, and it is also connected to my recitation. On Saturday, we went out for ziyarah, and at the end of the day, we went to an orphanage. We never went to this orphanage the previous year. This was a different orphanage that we went to, and in this orphanage that we visited, it was an orphanage of all young girls, and within this orphanage there was a family of a few sisters whose story I would like to share with you today. And why is it connected to my recitation is because I was gifted the opportunity to recite this surah in front of these girls. So what's the story of these orphan sisters? These sisters, they have a brother, and the brother's name is Wa'il. Wa'il and his sisters, they were living with their parents, and one day an argument or something happened between their parents which caused the father to die, and the mother was sent to jail. And because they had no parents, they were put into this orphanage, both the sisters and Wa'il, the little boy, until a few years ago, because Wa'il had grew a bit older and he couldn't stay with his sisters, they had moved him into another orphanage. And since the day he moved from his sisters, not a morning has passed in which the carers that look after him, they said that not a morning has passed in which he wakes up and he says, I want my mother and I want my sisters. Not a morning has passed. And so in front of these girls, his sisters were also present in this orphanage. Maulana Abdullah Sahib, he gave me the opportunity to recite a surah, so inshallah I will begin with the recitation of this surah, inshallah. And I hope you can share your emotion with myself and imagine the emotion that me, myself and all the brothers were going through at this time. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Now inshallah I'm going to invite Maulana Usman Sahib from Huddersfield to come forward inshallah and perform in the sheep.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So this nasheed or poem is written by an Indian poet by the name of Imran. And in this nasheed, he describes the pain of the state of Palestine, and if Palestine, the state, could speak, maybe what it would say. یہ میری قوم کے حکمراں بھی سنے، یہ میری قوم کے حکمراں بھی سنے، میری اجڑی ہوئی داستاں بھی سنے، میری اجڑی ہوئی داستاں بھی سنے، جو مجھے ملک تک مانتے ہی نہیں، جو مجھے ملک تک مانتے ہی نہیں، ساری دنیا کے وہ رہنما بھی سنے، ساری دنیا کے وہ رہنما بھی سنے، صرف لاشیں ہی لاشیں میری گود میں، صرف لاشیں ہی لاشیں میری گود میں، کوئی پوچھے نہ کیوں اتنا غمگین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں۔ آئے تھے ایک دن میرے گھر، آئے تھے، آئے تھے ایک دن میرے گھر، آئے تھے، دشمنوں کو بھی تنہا نظر آئے تھے، دشمنوں کو بھی تنہا نظر آئے تھے، اونٹ پر اپنا خادم بٹھائے ہوئے، اونٹ پر اپنا خادم بٹھائے ہوئے، میری اس سرزمین پہ عمر آئے تھے، میری اس سرزمین پہ عمر آئے تھے، جس کی پرواز ہے آسمانوں تلک، جس کی پرواز ہے آسمانوں تلک، زخمی زخمی میں وہ ایک شاہین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میں فلسطین ہوں، میرے دامن میں ایمان پلتا رہا، میرے دامن میں ایمان پلتا رہا، ریت پر رب کا فرمان پلتا رہا، ریت پر رب کا فرمان پلتا رہا، میرے بچے لڑے آخری سانس تک، میرے بچے لڑے آخری سانس تک، اور سینوں میں قرآن پلتا رہا، اور سینوں میں قرآن پلتا رہا، ذرے ذرے میں اللہ اکبر لیے، ذرے ذرے میں اللہ اکبر لیے، خوش خوش نصیبی ہے میں صاحب دین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں نہ ہی روئیں گے اور نہ ہی مسکائیں گے نہ ہی روئیں گے اور نہ ہی مسکائیں گے صرف نغمے شہادت کہیں گائیں گے صرف نغمے شہادت کہیں گائیں گے میرے بچے ابابیل بن جائیں گے میرے بچے ابابیل بن جائیں گے اپنا بیت المقدس بچانے کو تو اپنا بیت المقدس بچانے کو تو جو ستم دار ہے ابرہا کی طرح جو ستم دار ہے ابرہا کی طرح ان کی خاطر میں سامان توہین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں میں فلسطین ہوں جزاک اللہ خیر
Jazakumullahu khairan. A reminder to myself first of all, and all of us, respected brothers and listeners at home, what's the purpose of this gathering? What's the purpose of these kind of programs? Is it just to share our experience? No. The purpose of this gathering is to rekindle the love, the affection, and the devotion of Muslims to Masjid al-Aqsa. Masjid al-Aqsa is just not another place of worship. It's just, another place, another landmark, another masjid. No. It forms an integral and an essential form of our, essential part of our iman, of our faith, of our Muslim and Islamic identity. Now, inshallah, to elaborate on this, we're going to invite our respected one of our Ustad in Madrasa al-Islam, Maulana Farasab, who was very fortunate to give a speech in Masjid al-Aqsa as well. We're going to invite Maulana to come forward and enlighten us.
الحمد لله نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This time last year, Maulana Kareem, Maulana Khalid Saab, Sheikh Maulana Abdul Rahim Limbada, Madda Zilluhum Alayna, shared their trip experience with us. And I, just like many of you here today, was sat towards the left. Mainly popped along for the after party for the biryani and hopefully to leave with sticky halwa fingers. Little did I know, within 12 months, fast forward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would also have my name on the guest list of Masjid al-Aqsa. Alhamdulillah. And to return and be stood in the same place by the grace of Allah. You see, even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us entry into a back street, makeshift masjid, that just about caters for a handful of musallis, that in itself is a huge favor. You can't compare that, you can't put a price to that, that's invaluable. Then how about then when he carries you 2,500 miles across the globe and allows you entry into the third holiest site for the Muslims? Allahu Akbar. You can't compare it, you can't put a price on it. The same place that he carried his beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam towards. It's no exaggeration when it said, if the oceans were to be made ink, and the trees were to be cut and made ream after ream of paper that stacked up to the high heavens, and we were given multiple lives to try and do shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything would be exhausted. We ourselves would expire, but we would not be able to scratch the surface when it comes to doing shukr to our Rabb, our Creator. Let me try quickly paint you a picture. Allahu Akbar. Imagine landing the worst neighbours from hell. They've not left any stone unturned in terms of causing you grief and havoc. They've damaged your property. They've damaged your belongings. Day and night they're abusing you, your family, your wife, your children, around the clock. But yet in return, all you have to offer is mercy and kindness. You continue to provide for them. You continue to shelter them. You continue to sustain them. You continue to cater for them. All along. Meanwhile, why they continue on their behalf to drop at your doorstep fresh, digested food on your doorstep. Meanwhile, you are online booking them a family trip of a lifetime. You've got their transfer sorted. You've got their arrival and their departure sorted. You've got their stay sorted. You've got their food sorted. It's an all-inclusive package. You go knock on the door of these McLarens and you say, here, have your ticket. And at the same time, you can have your spending money. And just to pop in as well as the perks, when you return, consider the years of grief you've given us, the tears that you've caused us, the sleepless nights. Consider every last one of them forgiven and forgotten. Consider every last one of them dead and buried. Who does this? Who has this mercy and this compassion and this forbearance? My dear listeners, your Allah, my Allah, your Maker, my Maker, your Rabb, my Rabb. For decades on end, decade upon decade, we have violated the commandments of Allah day in and day out. Has He ever once stopped feeding us? Has He ever once stopped sustaining us? Has He ever once stopped sheltering us? Not a single day. Whilst we continue in batting and bulldozing the last commandment of Allah. Something simple as our daily salah, something simple as Fajr salah, something simple as giving the zakat. At the same time, our Rabb, the most merciful, the most kind, behind the scenes is planning a trip for you and I to the blessed lands of Palestine, of Masjid al-Aqsa. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And as an all-inclusive package, He adds to that. Despite all the bonuses and the perks, let me tell you also, when you return, consider yourselves. Do you know this ocean of sin that you've managed to accumulate over the years? Consider it dead. Consider it buried. Consider it forgiven. Consider it forgotten. Consider it evaporated into a puff of smoke. In fact, consider yourselves more pure and more fresh than the day your mother gave birth to you. Consider yourselves more pure and more fresh than the day she brought you back, wrapped up snug in that car seat. Alhamdulillahi hamdan kathiran, tayyiban mubarakan fi. All praise, every type of praise, the highest degree of praise, everlasting praise to Allah, the Most High, the Most Kind. When you have such a loving, such a caring, such a compassionate, such a forbearing Maker, why would we not obey His every last command? Why would we not? Even the most illiterate amongst us, the Captain Bodu, Lieutenant Dipstick, Sergeant Crank would come to the conclusion that you repay kindness with at least half decency. That's what you do. Whilst I've still got your attention, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to rekindle and build our bond with Him, with His book, the Holy Quran, with His messengers, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Like Mulana has mentioned, the whole purpose of us being here is to try and stoke the fire of the passion for this blessed land. To try and for some to try and ignite that spark to begin with. Allahu Akbar, what can be said about the blessed land Al-Palestine, Masjid al-Aqsa, when the Lord of the heavens himself gives it the title Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa, the blessed, the honored place. That in itself speaks volumes. What more of an incentive do we need? What more of an inspiration do we need? That itself should grip the attention of the believer. It's not like it's some throwaway coming from your local postman. It's not like it's an opinion of her sat on cashier number 4. It's from the Lord of the heavens and the earth. It couldn't have come from a higher place. It's from the Lord of the Arsh Azim, the mighty throne. That, let me tell you, He's basically spelling out for us in plain black and white. This land is no ordinary land. This masjid is no ordinary masjid. If that fact is not enough to bring the brilliance of Masjid al-Aqsa in our hearts, then God help us. Then how about the fact on 70 occasions, directly or indirectly, it's been mentioned in the book of Allah. If that's not enough to say how much brilliance and how much of a brilliant place Masjid al-Aqsa, the blessed land, has in our faith, then Allahu Akbar, how about the fact it's the only other masjid mentioned by name in the Holy Quran? How about the fact that Qibli Masjid masjid. Nobody can take this fact away from me. Not ever. I was the first, I am the first, I always shall be the first. Qibla for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the cream of creation. I was the first, I am the first, I always shall be the first. Qibla for the best of creation after the Anbiya, the Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in. Nobody can take this milestone. Nobody can take this accolade away from me. If that's not enough, how about the fact that messenger after messenger after messenger touched down on this very blessed land? How about the fact that Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in touched down on this very blessed land and they were laid to rest on this very blessed land? Chalo, how about the very fact no other place on this planet, not a single place on this planet can claim that I hosted the finest gathering ever to take place on this planet. No other place can claim that. Masjid Aqsa can. A gathering like no other. A gathering when Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is being made the Imam, the cream of the creation, and those that make the rows behind him are none other than Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, Hazrat Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam. Going back from the first to the very end, there's been no gathering like it. Nothing comes even close to it. It is the finest of gatherings. It's absolutely beyond words to explain and try and describe the brilliance of Masjid al-Aqsa. Where do you start? Where do you end? How about the glow, the air, the sparkle, the twinkle, the shine? Allahu Akbar. The presence and its awe. It's dripped from every last ancient brick. I lie to you not. It's each slab tells its own story. It's almost like it's frozen in time and captured and retained that magical, blessed aura. Khuda ki qasam. If you've not already made it the first thing on your bucket list, then please do. I appeal to you, I ask every last one of us, make it at the top of your to-do list. Wives, pester the husbands. Husbands, if it means you've got to grovel at the feet of the missus, so be it. Brothers, badger one another. Let's make the trip to Masjid al-Aqsa. Just as we badger one another, let's make the trip. Let's go for a game of snooker. Let's go for a game of pool. Just like we badger one another. Let's make a trip to Old Trafford to watch boring, sideways rugby football. Why can't we badger one another to make the trip to Masjid al-Aqsa? Why not? Khuda ki qasam, you will not regret it one bit. Not one bit. Why? Because it's a win-win situation. Not only are you racking up and stacking up the ajr and the reward, because it's an act of worship. At the same time, you are providing the support that the Palestinian people need. It's a shot in their arm of renewed hope and renewed dedication to continue with their fight, continue with their fight against the occupation. We were there for 3.5 days. I lied to you not, it felt like 3.5 months. There was that much to do, and we did that much by the grace of Allah. It was a roller coaster of emotion. Allahu Akbar. To try to wrap it up. For any place on earth to receive a genuine 5-star review on your TripAdvisor, 3 things have to be of the highest caliber. 3 things. The surroundings have to be spot on. The food has to be spot on. Last but not least, the people, you know, the customer service you get has to be spot on. Khuda ki qasam, Palestine is off the scale. It ticks all boxes and some. You ask about the surroundings. How about those shiny, centuries-old cobblestones? Those beautiful buildings, high-rise ceilings, architecture from a different planet. Sweet sound of azan echoing from around you. You know, don't take my word for it. What does the Lord of the mighty throne have to say about it? Subhanalladhi asra bi abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-harami ila al-masjid al-aqsa alladhi barakna hawlahu. Glorified is he who took his messenger from for a journey during the night from the blessed land. From the sacred masjid in Mecca towards the farthest masjid in Jerusalem. Alladhi barakna hawlahu. It's the precinct of which we have blessed. Its surroundings, its neighborhood, uske ird-gird, agge-piche, we have blessed it. And when Allah blesses something, can you compete with that? When Allah puts his finger to something and is blessed, there's no 2 ways about it. Allahu Akbar. So the surroundings are like no other. They're off the scale. You ask about the food, Allahu Akbar. It's the most freshest, most purest, and full of richness. If you want to know the definition of a healthy living, you're at the right place. By the grace of Allah, Maulana Kalim lost half his body weight by the grace of Allah. He's come back with a chiseled body. May Allah preserve him and the leaders of our group till death do us part. May Allah reward them and grant them the best of both worlds. Did they go the extra mile? Boy, of course they did. And then you ask about the people. The people, where do you begin in terms of their generosity, their kindness, their humility, their hospitality? I like to, every last one of them, every last one met you with a beaming smile that lit up the marketplace. And the one thing that they all had in common, from the first to the last, is that unbreakable spirit. You can't break them. That unbreakable resilience. Strong as oxes. You can't break us. Allahu Akbar, you cannot break us. From the boys and girls in the orphanage to the old wise wizard trotting along in the marketplace. From the average shopkeeper to the head and the CEO of Masjid Aqsa. They all had it. Over my dead body. That attitude, not in my name. You can break our bones. You can orphan our children. You can snatch babies from their mothers. You can take pot shots at our toddlers from high up with your snipers. You can cage us. You can make us live like worse than those chickens in the UK. Caged hens. You can try and entice us with 7, 8, 9-figure checks. We ain't budging. We're staying right here. This is our land. This is our place. Khudaki Qasam. The surroundings are off the planet. The surroundings are off the scale. The food is off the scale. The people are way off the scale. They're off the mark. Why have we not already booked our trip? Then why have we not already booked our trip? By the grace of Allah, you have a massive a favor from Allah. You've got a wonderful, dedicated team of a handful of individuals. Allahu Akbar. That you couldn't have handpicked a better team, a better group of leaders. You could not have handpicked. They've got the knack, they've got the know-how, they've got the experience, they've got the energy, they've got the drive. By the grace of Allah, don't get me wrong. There will be other groups going from throughout Yorkshire, but to come back with a treasure chest full of fond memories for a lifetime that you can tell your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, inshallah, then you need the full package. Then you need the full package. It won't be a word of any stretch of imagination or an exaggeration. No group leader from up and down the land, especially Ajmi, non-Arab, would have had the privilege and honor to lead Salatul Maghrib in the Qibli Masjid within the compound of Masjid al-Aqsa. Your leader here from Masjid Nur al-Islam did. Not trying to brag and show how big and how great we are. The point I'm trying to make is every group has their own way of doing things. Every group has their own setup. From the start to the end, let's put it this way. By the grace of Allah, the du'as of their elders, the du'as of their parents, the du'as of their teachers, they've got things boxed. Right from the itinerary meeting, the plan of travel, until you leave, or until you return and go through your front door. It wouldn't surprise me if they were more than willing to tuck you in bed too and hand you cookies and cocoa at the end of it. All these bonuses for what? For the cost price. They're not travel agents. I'm not on their books. These guys have their own day jobs. They're just doing it, a coming together of genuine brothers that want to, like Maulana said, and I'm sure there's genuine sisters behind the scenes doing their bit and supporting them. Come together for one sole goal, and that is to keep our connection, our bond with the blessed place. I leave with 3 quick requests. First of all, we all make a promise and a serious intention that I will, come rain or sunshine, come through thick or thin, good health or ill health, I will make the trip to, by the grace of Allah, with the help of Allah, to Masjid al-Aqsa. Second, when Team Maulana Kareem or Team Abdullah's army, Madazilluhum alayna, come and present to you a project for in cause of the people of Palestine, be it for the orphanage, be it for the masjid, be it for the local people there, you back them like you have to the hill. Honestly, you back them. But with even if it's your bottom dollar, you back them. You back them, people of Bradford. Why? Because I tell you, every last penny goes to where it's supposed to go. There was 2:30 or 2 in the morning. They sat in the lobby of the Hashimi Hotel. One of them falling asleep. But every last penny is counted, double counted, checked, double checked. The last thing to leave the coffee table was either 5 cents or €5. Every last penny accounted for. When they ask for your support, and don't think we're doing them a favor. They being there presenting themselves to do us a favor, to through the sweat and tears they're offering us. Last but not least, that we pray for the land Palestine. We remember our children, our mothers, our fathers, our babe, our elders out there. Last point, the year is 1187. Just after Salahuddin Ayyubi, rahmatullahi alayhi, rahmatan wasi'ah, has taken Palestine, has taken Masjid al-Aqsa, Jerusalem, from the clutches, from the tight grip of the Crusaders. He gets wind, he gets news that they're sending reinforcements. Additional troops have already set sail. He takes account. He analyzes his own men. He spends the entire night in dua. He spends the entire night, uncontrollable tears flowing from his eyes. Ya Rab, Lord of the heavens and the earth, my men have fought tooth and nail. My men have exhausted blood, sweat and tears. They're on the last legs. They're basically on their knees. Ya Allah, they're in reserve when it comes to energy. I don't think that we will be able to hold off yet another onslaught. Ya Rab, Lord of the heavens, I ask your help. Entire night in tears. Fajr Azan goes. Following his Fajr Salah, he meets with an Allah Wala, a man of Allah. He's again sharing his concern with this individual. He says, make dua that we get the strength from somewhere. Allah helps us with this additional onslaught. The Allah Wala must have received kashf, inspiration from Allah. He says, Salahuddin, you're an army in yourself. Your tears last night sank the ships of the enemy. Allahu Akbar. You see, till this day, later he received news that Waqi, the ocean had swallowed up the remaining squadrons. The ocean had gobbled up what remained of the enemy troops. You see, this is a lifelong lesson. When you want something done, when you need to do something, be active. Do something about it. Stand up and make a difference. We can sit there and ask for and following that. Then when you turn and raise your hands to Allah, then watch how He wipes the floor with your enemy. So if we can't be there in person, and if we struggle to help him financially, the least we can do is make dua, shed a tear for the blessed land of Palestine, for the blessed Masjid al-Aqsa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept and forgive us our guna. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah al-azim wa ma alayna illa al-balagh.
MashaAllah, Jazakumullah. Maulana shared his very emotional experience. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala create the love of Aqsa, the love of Palestine in each one of our hearts. Now moving on, inshallah, quite actually behind our schedule. We've got a few brothers, many brothers travel with us, but a few brothers who would like to come forward to share their experience. I've got on the list first, Maulana Junaid. Inshallah, Maulana is going to come forward in a few minutes and share his experience.
نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع العليم إنه هو السميع البصير صدق الله العظيم. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers, respected ulama and elders. MashaAllah, Maulana Safra Sahab has given you a brilliant explanation of our experience. I would like to also share a little of my experience. Just before I start, I have a kind request. I would like you all to close your eyes and imagine that you are in the streets of Jerusalem. Just imagine the cobblestone alleys with cobblestone worn smooth from over 1,000 years of people walking and running upon them. The hustle and the bustle of people going about their ways. The tourists with eyes full of awe and wonder, and the locals selling every item from fruits to sweets to spices to pots and clothes. Freshly pressed fruit juice, strong fragrant coffee, ice cold drinks, pastries with honey dripping, and freshly baked bread. Almost in every corner, the beautiful sound of azan, which is so sweet to the ear. Where is this place, my dear brothers? This is Jerusalem. this is the experience of Masjid Aqsa. Such an amazing place. Alhamdulillah, I was given this opportunity going back to April when Maulana Kareem Sahib, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him in every way, offered me this chance. At that time, you will all remember, they were selling Krispy Kreme donuts, and it was solely for the purpose of the project of the orphanage. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted me at that time, and I took part, I helped out and did my little khidmah. But I believe that this was the means of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepting me and giving me the opportunity to travel to the blessed land. Like Maulana Safraz mentioned, last year he was sat in the same gathering. Little did he know that he was going to be given the opportunity to travel this year and get the same experience. In the same way, my dear brothers, when I helped out with Maulana and Masjid Nurul Islam's project, I made my intention, but I did not know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going to accept me. And alhamdulillah, the time came and we traveled our journey, alhamdulillah. Our flight was very good. Before you go, you hear all sorts of stories. And you think, what kind of experience am I going to get when I go there? Will I even get past passport control? Would they keep me behind? Would they send me back? You have all these thoughts in your head, not knowing that you will be accepted. And yes, they do give you some trouble at the airport. They did keep us behind for about 6 hours. And when it's your first time, you begin to think, are we going to get through? Especially when other people in your group start getting visas. But Maulana Abdullah Sahib, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also bless him, he told us before we went that there's no need to panic. And like I said, alhamdulillah, after 6 hours, we got through and we went to our hotel. When we got there, like I said, we went through the streets of Jerusalem. We were in the old city, and it was such an amazing experience. You cannot feel this experience till you actually visit the blessed city. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give every one of us the opportunity to visit the blessed land of Al-Quds. Today you may be sat here, but make this intention now. Make this intention and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept you, inshallah. When we got to the hotel, we were all very tired. We've been traveling, kept at the airport, questions, and everybody wanted to go to sleep. But we realized that we were only here for a very limited time, and we wanted to make the best of our time there. Maulana Kareem Sahib came to us and said, why don't you go to the rooftop? So we went up to the rooftop. Let me tell you something, it was the most amazing scenery that I have ever seen. There was approximately 3 hours to Fajr. We sat there and we looked at Dome of the Rock, the compound of Masjid Aqsa, and it was so amazing that it kept us awake. And alhamdulillah, we went for Fajr namaz and we prayed our salah with Jama'ah, and it was such an amazing experience that when I think back now, I wish I was there. And I made this intention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take me every year again and again and again. When you meet the people of Palestine, you realize how good of people they are. They are amazing people, their character, the way they treat you, the way they look at you, their hospitality, everything about them is amazing. They have nothing, but the fact that they are living in the blessed land, they think that is amazing. So because of limited time, I'm going to finish off here. But what I would encourage you all to do is make intention that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take you to the blessed land. Inshallah wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Jazakumullah khair. Malana had a lot more to share, but unfortunately, we've got more speakers and we're going to be showing some videos as well, so we have to cut it short. I'll invite Brother Imran to come forward, inshallah, and share his experience.
Assalamu alaikum. I think the ulama have covered what I wanted to say. What Maulana Safraz said, that was all in my mind, but couldn't get it out in words. But pretty much, obviously, we had a lot of ulama in the group, so we were quite lucky. For me, it was the first time going. The groups have been going for the last 2-3 years, but for me, it was the first time I was going. I wasn't even supposed to go. It was my brother who was booked to go, but at the last minute we changed over, and I was able to go. I was a bit skeptical at first due to health issues, thinking about all the walking and everything involved. But alhamdulillah, I can say that from the minute we left Nur Islam Masjid to the minute we came back, there was not a single issue. It was a very easy and brilliant trip with no problems at all. One thing I'll say, a couple of things I'll say. Masjid al-Aqsa itself, the minute you step onto the compound of al-Aqsa, it's a very blessed land. This is just me like a normal person saying it, but you know, as soon as you walk on, it's very, very tranquil and there's a feeling of blessedness. The people of Palestine, obviously they're amazing people. You've heard what the ulama have said. Every morning at Fajr time, there's a guy sat outside the Masjid al-Aqsa, outside the door, he's giving coffee and kajur every morning without fail. He's always there. The people in and around the shops, and they do it with a smile. They've had everything taken off them pretty much, but they still manage to, give you a smile, and you know, inside they're probably broken for everything they've lost. Palestine itself is a beautiful country. It's got a lot of historical sites. You look around, obviously there's the compound of Al-Aqsa and everything around it, but then we went on the ziyarat. It was a long day, but we managed to look at a lot of places. It's so much to take in the short period of time. It's a lot. We've done so much. It's like you've covered 2-3 months worth of stuff in such a short time. And the other thing I was going to say is in the group, obviously there was a lot of support. Support where we needed it. There was no worries, no concerns. There's a lot of help from the ulama as well. We were lucky we had so many. We could ask for advice and things. But I'd like to thank everybody, especially the leaders as well, because there's a lot of background effort that goes into it. We don't see it, and I'm grateful for that.
Jazakumullah khair. Inshallah, before our brother Luqman wa Karim Sahab show the video, the last short speech from Maulana Abid Sahab.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear respected brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Don't think because I've sat on the chair I'm going to take long. It's just that I can't stand up, my legs will start shaking. My dear respected brothers, today we gathered here for one reason. Because somebody from our community has visited a place which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes. Why does he like that place? Because his prophet, who he liked, went there. In the world, we see people, even in our own communities, they've come from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, and they've come to Bradford, they've come to Huddersfield, they've come to Leeds, London. Some people have never moved out of that city till the day they die. They've never been out of the city. Some brothers have never been out of the country. Some brothers have only been, when they go on a holiday, they'll only go back either to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, that's it. That's their life. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put in some Muslims life that they will visit different places and see the world that Allah has created. If it's not that because we have loads of money that we can go to these places. There was one person, he had so much money, he would work 14 hours a day. He died in Bradford. And the brothers were telling me, these people were telling me that when he died, his relatives came and they put the body onto the side, said, find his money. And they started to look under the floorboards, they found the money there. Under the bed, they found the money there. So money cannot take us to these places. Why do you think these brothers feel so happy when they go across? Because that border is like this world, and when we are going to go into the Akhirat, the day of judgment. It's the day of judgment. Everyone is called with their name and their father's name. Over there they ask your father's name and they ask you your granddad's name as well. And they ask you your email address as well. They say, what have you been doing in the world? They ask you, in the Akhirat they'll ask you, what have you done in the world? Over there they'll say, what do you do as well? What's your job? They know, you think, does this person know everything about me? Or, I don't know, shall I tell the truth? That's what happens. You know when they get their visas in their hands and they go through and they say why we like Aqsa, because it says they've gone into Jannah. The last thing I'm going to say, you know, I have so many dreams. I hope I can wake up quickly. Whenever we've took, Maulana Abdullah says to me, Maulana, should we take this? Maulana, this time, should we take this? Maulana, we've took Maulana Hussein, we've took Sheikh Al-Hadiz, we took so many. Whenever we've taken somebody, I've seen a dream. Can you remember what I told you last time? I've seen a dream. I've seen the Prophet in my dream. I've seen the Sahaba in my dream. This time I've seen a different dream. And can you see this door like this? As there's only light coming through one door, and our group is going through it, one by one. And the person at the door stops one or two of them for a few seconds, then lets go of them, as if they were allowed to pass. Only a couple of them. There's 3 people that have a green ticket. They don't be asked anything, but the rest of them all get through. And you think where Allah has taken them. This is what a dream I see when I went to Aqsa. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq. Remember, money can't take us to these places. But what we should do is dua and intention. And we go to Turkey, we go to this place, we go to different countries for holidays, we save our money. But when Allah is telling us to have a look and go, we don't go to these places. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the tawfiq to act upon what he said. Hope that was quick.
Now inshallah, we'll be presenting a video from Sheikh Saleh. Those brothers who've been to Masjid Aqsa and stayed at Hashmi Hotel, they know very well who Sheikh Saleh is, mashallah. Especially when you go from Ali Abdullah, you get many extra privileges. Sheikh Saleh, very genuine khadim of Aqsa, if you want to call him, khadim of those people who visit Aqsa. Mashallah, all you get from him is love, sweet words. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve him. Inshallah, without delay, we'll show you the video.
Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all my brothers and sisters in UK. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all my brothers and sisters in UK. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, all things due to Allah Azza wa Jal, that Allah Azza wa Jal has been choose us amongst His Ummah to be from Bayt al-Maqdis.
And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, right now, I'm sitting away 5 minutes from, as you see, Dome of the Rock. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah Azza wa Jal has been blessed us to be in Bilad al-Sham. And one of the important places after Makkah al-Mukarramah and Medina al-Munawwara is Masjid al-Aqsa. As our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did mention Masjid al-Aqsa in many of ahadith. Alaykum bil-Sham, Tuba al-Sham. And there's many of ahadith that our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has been mentioned in many narration as well. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, my brother and sister, I'm sitting here in Baytul Maqdis, where our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam reached Sidratul Muntaha from this dome, that as you see it, this is the place where our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam read the salah with 125,000 Nabi. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah Azza wa Jal has been choose us from those people that we will be from Murabitun and Ahlul Ribat. But we need people to support us. Supporting us by you coming and visiting Baytul Maqdis. Support us by you coming and share the love of this Mubarak land and this Mubarak Masjid. First, I will start my small short talk about our Bradford group. MashaAllah, they've been coming for the last 6-7 years. And MashaAllah, last years, with Maulana Abdullah Mayat and the brother that you are working out the group, I will not forget our brother Faraz and all the brothers that you working with him to work out every year to bring group to Aqsa. That mashallah last year we have this group was coming to Aqsa and you were able to visit the orphan, and mashallah you were asking them what they need. And after they find out what they need, mashallah, Maulana Kalimu Deen and Luqman, my brother Luqman, I will not forget, because this is the hadith that come from our Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that man la yashkur al-nas la yashkur Allah. That whoever cannot thank the people for the good deed that he does, he will not be able to thank Allah Azza wa Jal. They work very hard to find out that the orphan they need a coach. So after we find out that what they need, they went back and they start raising money, and it took them 1 year. They left their family, they left the work, they sacrificed many of the time after Jum'ah prayer, selling some food, selling some biryani, whatever they used to sell, whatever they used to say. But mashallah, in the end, they were able to come with the coach money, and we were able to buy the coach, and mashallah, we did big event, and I believe that you saw it already. So may Allah Azza wa Jal reward Maulana Kalimullah and brother Luqman. MashaAllah, Allah reward them and accept it from them and accept from all the brothers that they were donated and they were working in this project. So may Allah Azza wa Jal reward them all. And I will not forget Sheikh Hussein. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, Wallahi, this Sheikh, I love him from my heart. Sheikh Hussein, he's from Nur al-Islam Masjid. He came last year as well with the wheelchair. We were in the touring, in the coach, more than 12-13 hours. And MashaAllah, every time I asked him, Sheikh, you need us to bring anything for you? And he was happy. Just being touring around of the West Bank, seeing the brothers around the area of the West Bank, he was very happy. MashaAllah, Allah give him long life. Allah give him very good health, inshaAllah. And inshaAllah, very soon if I come to UK, I have to see Sheikh Hussein. This is 100%. I'm inshaAllah curious to come and see Sheikh Hussein. And I will not forget to thank Sheikh Ahmed Ali. MashaAllah, I visit him in his school in Bradford. MashaAllah, and the work that he do with the help of all the brothers. And Brother Kani, MashaAllah, he's standing next to him and helping him. So may Allah Azza wa Jal reward all the teams. And I will not forget Sheikh Abdul Rahim Nubada, MashaAllah, Sheikh Bilal, Sheikh Ismail, and all the Mufti and all the scholars that have been coming with them lately to Masjid al-Aqsa.
Now, inshallah, the brothers who, mashallah, give their time and efforts behind raising the funds for the minibus, I'm going to invite Brother Luqman, inshallah, to come forward and share a few thoughts.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I've written a speech, but to be honest, due to time, I'm not going to take too long. But if you cast your mind back to last year, alhamdulillah, we, the groups have been going every year, mashallah, and we keep going to the orphans, but what do we give them? We turn up and give them some chips and give them some crisps. And, you know, is that what they really want? When we went to the other orphans, and alhamdulillah, I went to the Jerusalem orphanage, and we sat down with the kids. You know, we had, you probably noticed from the slides last year, we sat down with them and we said, you know, what is it that you want? You know, your kids, we can't do anything for you. What can we do for you? You're all Jannati, us guys, we're trying to buy a ticket. So alhamdulillah, they sit down and they spoke to us, and obviously they love football, they love all the usual things that our kids love. So, I mean, Mullah Kaleem, he put it best when he said, these are like our kids. So anyway, we went away from there, we had a conversation with the groups and everything, and they said they wanted a minibus. So we came back and we thought, minibus, thinking like, who's going to get a minibus for them? We're going to be driving it across, are we? But we took it on board, and we had a conversation with them, and we started rolling with it, and they turned around and said, look, interior is £35,000, that's how much it costs for a second-hand minibus. For a brand new one, I think Mullah Kaleem's got the details to tell you, but it was out of the question. So alhamdulillah, we went with it. We started very late actually. We started in December, but I remember the turning point. Mashallah, you all contributed. You bought your biryanis, you bought your Krispy Kremes. But when we got to roughly about £8,000, I turned around to Mullah Kaleem and said, Mullah, we're going to walk this. We're going to raise this £35,000 in no time. And he was like, yeah, do lolly. You all do lolly, you don't know what you're doing. I said, don't worry about it. Alhamdulillah, within a few months, we were able to announce that we raised all the money, and people were still asking us, oh, we want to give money. We said, look, our limit was £35,000. There's no point us giving any extra money. The minibus doesn't cost anymore. So alhamdulillah, we got to the point where we were able to get the money. Obviously, we had a few issues about how we were going to get it across, etc. But all I wanted to say is Jazakallahu khairan for all those that donated, all those that helped out. I'll pass over to Mullah Kaleem, alhamdulillah, he will explain how we got on from our journey.
Alhamdulillah wahda wa salatu wa salamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Jazakallah khair to everybody that's come today. I know it's a Sunday, it's very late, but we're all here gathered for the most deprived, I'd say, in humanity. Obviously in Muslims, but in humanity, the most deprived. These children, the adults, the women, the elderly, you know, seeing them in that state. We only go for 3 days. We don't see them day in, day out in their life. We only go there for 3 days. And we're here gathered, and I'm sure this 1 hour, 1.5 hours, inshallah, it will tip the scale in our Amal Nama. 1 year ago, we announced that we're going to buy a minibus for these orphans. Me and Brother Luqman, when we went last year, I'm just going to give you a quick brief about when we went last year. What we said to these kids is, look, every groups come every year, they come in and out, they bring you crisps, they bring you footballs, they bring you t-shirts, whatever, clothes. But what do you really want? What do you guys really need? You know, when you sit down and you think, you sit with your missus and you say, what does my kid really need to move forward in life? What does he really want from his heart? We ask the kids, what do you guys really want? Because we got nothing to travel. When we go to see our grandparents, uncles, aunties, or we even want to cross, because remember, they're inside the wall. They couldn't go to Aqsa. They're inside the wall. These children, the orphanage is inside the wall, so they couldn't. If they would go out in a taxi, they'd be stopped by Israeli soldiers and slapped up and sent back, because they had no designated vehicle. So we really want a minibus. So we did mashwara with Mana Abdullah, Mana Ismail, everybody. We come back, and then in 2 days, Abu Ahmad al-Rajabi and Brother Hamza, they send the price. The Maulana is £35,000, or if you want a new one, it's roughly 95,000. I said we'll keep the new one for next time, inshallah. But 35,000, fairly new, 2015, 2016 model. How are we going to raise this? MashaAllah, you guys ate so much biryani this year. MashaAllah, donuts, biryani. May Allah reward you all. Every single person that donated, even a single penny. The Masjid that we sold the biryani outside, Howard Street, Masjid Bilal, Mahad Islami, and especially here, you guys, it was coming to a stage where you guys, he stood outside again selling biryani. How much biryani are we going to eat? But subhanallah, in the month of Ramadan, we got to our target, £35,000. We went back over there with all, and remember one thing we had in mind, which Mullah Abdullah told us from before, and that the money that people donate, we're not going to spend a single penny on a kharcha, or the dabbe that we bought for biryani were donated by a brother. The biryani that we didn't buy, it was donated. Maila House, mashallah, they sponsors us very well. Other brothers, they bought one Jummah, we sold 15 days of biryani. And when the truck arrived with 1,600 boxes of biryani, Brother Musa came, he goes, Maulana Kareem's lost his mind, and look man, how are they going to send this biryani? But Allah, like I always say, Allah is the greatest. So when we went back there, first everybody was asking that how are you going to buy the minibus, where are you going to buy the minibus, are you going to drive a minibus from here, are you going to buy it in Europe? So we had the options. We started exploring the option of buying the minibus in a neighbouring European country, which has cost us much cheaper. But when we inquired over there, they said, you'll buy the minibus, you'll drive it down, but at border security, they'll strip it down to nut and bolt. They said, we'll bring the mechanics and we'll put it back to every nut and bolt, but then they won't give us paperwork, so how are we gonna utilize it here? So then obviously we had only one option to buy over there, and I was telling everybody, asking me, that obviously we have to buy from a Jew and we have to buy from a Yahudi, and when I look at their face, they're like, drop, or you're doing something good and you're buying from a Yahudi. But alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, they found a minibus from a Muslim brother that lived in a place called Beit Hanina. His name was Ibrahim, and this was his own personal minibus that he'd use for himself and his family or work purposes, whatever. We went to his place, and I insisted from day one to the whole Zakat committee. I go, look, I've got this, and Luqman and Mali Abdullah, we've got this burden on us that BD7 community, mashallah, mixed community, but very harsh community. When they give you something, they really want you to do it, and they'll ask till the last gasp. So I knew when I come back, I'm going to be bombarded with questions. So I need to do every single thing to the T, like they say, right, 100%. So I said to him, I insisted, I'm going to go to the brother's house, and me, Luqman, Maulana Ismail, and all the rest of the brothers, Brother Musa, Maulana Abdullah, we're going to go and we're going to actually buy ourselves. We've got the contract somewhere here as well. Luqman, can you pass me the contract, please? We're going to go, we're going to buy ourselves. We want a lawyer there. He's going to get the legal, sign out all the legal documents, and we're going to give him the money in his hand. We're going to take the key in our hand. We're going to take the minibus and deliver it to the orphans ourselves. We don't want no third people involved, like normal charities they have. But we just had this thing that we want to do it ourselves with our own hand, because our brothers, mashallah, been eating so much biryani with love, and the donuts and everything. It was hard, wallahi, it was hard. We had days where me and Luqman would be stood alone. We had days where all the brothers contributed. It was hard, but mashallah, we got there. We did it. We went to his house. The lawyer was there. Sheikh Ashraf was there. We had a cameraman from Aqsa for all you guys to see as well. Professional cameraman. We bought the minibus, went to the orphanage, delivered it over there. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And one thing I'd say is a misconception. Now everybody's saying 35,000 minibus. You guys bought 17-seater. It's a luxury minibus. So let me ask just one question. When you take your son to the shop, or you're buying something for your kids, are you going to go to some backside street and buy, instead of going and buying a £5 thing, buying a 10p thing? Are you going to buy him something cheap, or are you going to buy him something really good? Everybody, I want, my kids are here today as well. I want the best for my kids. I'm saying it openly. I want the best for my, and I know every single one of you want the best for your kids. So I want the best for these kids. If I bought a £35,000 minibus, I want him to last it. And something which is really, really amazing, I'm going to tell you after the video. Also, they've said that they're going to take every year these kids to Umrah in this minibus. All the sawab is going to be in your guys' Amal Nama, inshallah. So I'm going to tell everybody, we did the best for them because they're the closest to Almighty Allah. They don't have no parents. We look after our kids. We have parents. These guys have no one. So if we've gone that extra mile, we've gone for a reason. Still you have questions about it, come and see me personally or see Luqman. inshallah we'll answer your questions. Luqman's going to just play a video, watch the video, and after that I'm just going to explain one single thing, and we'll finish after that, Maulana Naeem, and then finish inshallah.
Every day we tell each other that this day will be the last, and tomorrow we all can go home free, and all this will finally end. Palestine, tomorrow will be free. Palestine, tomorrow will be free.
Moment. We are in a moment that Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He says in the Hadul Yatim fil Jannati kahatayn, and there is no anything more beautiful than to be in Jannah with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam.
That's why I will cry. I feel scared, but I won't show my fears. I keep my head high, deep in my heart. I never have any doubt that Palestine tomorrow will be free. Palestine tomorrow will be free. I saw those rockets and bombs shining in the sky.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, brothers in the UK, brothers in Nur al-Islam Masjid, we send our deepest thanks for all of you, for all the Muslims in UK that donate for the very important project which is providing a minibus for the Jerusalem Welfare Orphans. This very important project that will facilitate the transportation of the orphans from place to place and return back them safely from and to the orphanage. Thank you very much, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you all here from this very important place in front of the Masjid al-Mubarak. We send our deepest thanks to all any people who donate for this important project. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Your soul, the beat.
Yeah, mashallah, you all saw the video, all the fruits of the khidmat you all give all year round. Something that amazing that came out of this, getting the minibus, is the kids are allowed to go to Masjid al-Aqsa because they have their own designated minibus with a license, with a proper driver, with the orphanage sticker on it, so nobody can stop them. They will get stopped, but they won't get off the minibus, they'll go straight into Al-Aqsa. So once again, Takbir! Jazakallah khair once again to every single one of you who donated, all the Masjid that helped in this project, especially to the committee of Masjid Nur al-Islam, Brother Mahmoud, many thanks from myself, Luqman, in thick and thin, there was with us. I've had calls today and messages today. There's many more projects. If anybody wants to, there's small projects and big projects. So if anybody is interested and wants to do khidmah for the most deprived and wants to change their grave in one of the gardens of paradise, please get in touch with us and we will guide you, we will help you, even if you want to do another minibus for the orphans, because when we were buying this minibus, there was 20 orphans, now there's 35 orphans in the same orphanage. So once again, Jazakallah khair to everyone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this a means of salvation for all our akhirat. Barakallah fi.
Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah ta'ala accept the sincere efforts of Maulana Kareem Sahab, Brother Luqman. And let's not forget our beloved brother Faraz, who was the backbone for making this group happen, for making it throughout the journey, mashallah. He was the one that planned the whole journey. Also our respected Maulana Abdullah Sahab, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them with barakat in their health and their lives. Alhamdulillah, for myself, the icing on the cake was to have the blessed company of my respected Ustad, and of course he's the Ustad of many other ulama, one of Zir Sahab, one of Abdullah Sahab, also Mali Abid Sahab. And we were very fortunate when we went to Maulana to request him to accompany us. Maulana, he has a lot of health issues, but alhamdulillah, in spite of all this, Maulana got ready. Yeah. And Maulana got ready, alhamdulillah, and mashallah, throughout the journey, we were inspired with his spirituality, with his ruhaniyat, and mashallah, he will give us advice, and alhamdulillah, we really benefited from Hazrat Maulana's company. Inshallah, we're going to invite Hazrat Maulana to come forward and give us nasiha, and then conclude the gathering with a dua, the program with a dua.
فلو ہے اس لیے گلے بھی اثر ہے اور یہ تو اس ملک کا تحفہ ہے فلو ہونا اور یہ ہونا، لیکن پھر بھی آپ نے حکم فرمایا، میں حاضر ہو گیا اپنی سعادت سمجھتے ہوئے. اپنی سعادت ہے ایسے نیک اور اچھے کام کے لیے رسول پاک نے فرمایا تھا فضیلت کے موقع پر کہ اگر وہ جو جاہلیت میں معاہدہ کیا گیا تھا لوگوں کی جان مال کی حفاظت کریں گے، اسے حلف الفضول کہتے ہیں. آپ نے فرمایا کہ اب بھی کوئی مجھے دعوت دے، لیکن آپ سے نبوت کا اعلان ہو چکا تھا، اب بھی کوئی مجھے کہیں کہ اس میں شریک ہو جاؤ تو میں ضرور آؤں گا. تو نیک کام میں حصہ لینا اللہ خیر کا فائل ہی، وہ اللہ پاک نے توفیق دی اور بیت المقدس کی دیدار اور زیارت بھی ہو گئی. ایک صاحب سے وہ دوڑ میں ریس ہو رہی تھی تو دوڑ میں وہ آگے نکل گئے، تو وزیر نے کہا کہ ہم آپ کے بہت شکر گزار ہیں کہ آپ جو ہے آپ نے ہمارے ملک کا نام لیا اور آپ دوڑ میں فرسٹ آئے. انہوں نے کہا یہ بتاؤ کہ میرے پیچھے کتا کتنے دوڑا تھا. میرے کتے ڈر سے بھاگا تھا، مجھے کیا پتا ہے دوڑ ہو رہی ہے کیا. اسی طرح پتہ نہیں کس کی دعائیں وہاں لیں گی، مجھے تو پتہ نہیں. اپنی ظاہری حالت دیکھ کر اندرونی میرے کو کبھی خواب میں نہیں آیا کہ بیت المقدس کی زیارت ہوئی کہ اللہ پاک قبول فرمائے اور بار بار حاضری کی ان جگہوں پر توفیق دے. وہی میں نے ایک شعر پڑھا تھا اس دن، الا لیت الشباب یعود یوما فاخبرہ بما فعل المشیب، کہ کاش جوانی لوٹ آتی تو میں اس کو خبر دیتا کہ بڑھاپے نے میرے ساتھ کیا عمل کیا ہے. اتنی عمر یہاں 35 سال گزار دیے، کبھی تصور میں نہیں آیا. اللہ برکت دے اور اجر عظیم دے ہمارے شاگرد کہہ سکتا ہوں، لیکن شاگرد کیا ہوتا ہم سے بڑے آگے نکل گئے. تو اللہ ان کو برکت دے اور رحمت دے اور ساری جو جزا خیر دے کہ انہوں نے آفر پیش کیا کہ جانا ہے اور بہت ہمت کر کے ہاں کر دی، کیونکہ مقدس جگہ پر جانا آسان تو نہیں ہے، وہاں کے حقوق اور آداب کی رعایت رکھتے ہوئے. اللہ پاک نے توفیق دی اور الحمدللہ 3 دن کا وہاں رہنا ہوا اور 2 دن آنے جانے کے 5 دن کا. لیکن آج بھی تمنا ہوتی ہے کہ کاش پھر جائیں پھر جائیں پھر جائیں، جو کہ وہاں رسول پاک کی وہ جگہ دیکھی جہاں صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے براق باندھا، وہ جگہ دیکھی جہاں ہم کو معراج میں لے جایا گیا، وہ چٹان ہے وہاں، اور وہ جگہ دیکھی جہاں ہم نے امیر اسلام کی نبوت کی امامت فرمائی تھی، امیر اسلام کی. اور کیا کیا دیکھا وہاں، جو کچھ دیکھتی ہے تو پا سکتا نہیں، وہ تو بتا نہیں سکتا انسان. اور سب سے بڑی بات یہ دیکھی کہ جو پروڈکٹ لے کر گئے تھے کہ وہاں یتیموں کے لیے خاص طور سے جو مدد کی گئی، ان یتیموں کے چہرے جو ہنس رہے کھلکھلا رہے تھے، وہ دیکھ کر دل پر خاص اثر ہوا کہ جب وہ بھائی بیچارے ڈھیلے ڈالے تھے، جب ان کو کسی کو گیند کسی کو کسی کو کچھ دیا گیا، ایسے خوش ہوئے ہیں وہ کہ آپ خیال نہیں کر سکتے کتنے خوش تھے. اس طرح جب وہ گاڑی آئی اور منی بس دی گئی، اس وقت جو ہے ایک کے اوپر ایک گر رہا تھا اور اتنا خوش تھا. تو یہ سب چیزیں وہ ہیں کہ ظاہر تو لگتا ہے کچھ بھی نہیں ہے، کیونکہ ہم میٹریلزم میں ہیں اور مادی ملک میں رہتے ہیں، ہم ان چیزوں کا احساس نہیں ہوتا. لیکن وہاں جا کر جب ان کو دیا گیا، ان کا کام بنتا ان نظر آیا، تو انہوں نے جو خوشی کا اظہار کیا ہے وہ بیان سے باہر ہے. اللہ پاک اس خوشی کو قبول فرمائے اور بار بار ہمیں بھی بار بار وہ حاضری کی اور جیسی بھی امداد ہو سکتی ہے کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرمائے. اس لیے وہاں جو صالح بھائی ہیں انہوں نے بتایا کہ میں یہ نہیں کہتا کہ آپ لوگ مدد کریں آپ پیسہ دے دیں، بلکہ اصل چیز یہ ہے کہ یہ لوگ یہ چاہ رہے ہیں کہ مسجد اقصیٰ کو ثابت کر دیں کہ یہاں کوئی آتا ہی نہیں ہے، اس لیے گرانا آسان ہو جائے. تو آپ آنا نہ چھوڑیں، انٹرنیشنل طریقے پر آتے رہیں گے تو ان کو بھی پتہ رہے گا کہ لوگ مسلمان دنیا کے محبت رکھتے اور آ رہے ہیں، اس لیے ان کو اتنی ہمت جلدی نہیں پڑے گی کہ مسجد اقصیٰ کو ختم کر دیں. تو اس لیے میری گزارش ہے آپ حضرات سے کہ جس کا بھی موقع ملے، جب بھی موقع ملے، مولوی عابد صاحب نے فرمایا کہ پیسہ نہیں دے جاتے انسان کو، یہ تو اللہ کی توفیق سے انسان جاتا ہے. ہمارے خود شہر میں دلی کے پاس شہر ہے، اس میں ایک بزرگ تھے بیچارے، بہت بڑے فارمر تھے، 35,000 اس زمانے میں، آج سے 40 سال پہلے 35,000 روپیہ وہ بینک میں چھوڑ کر مرے تھے. وہ کتنی زمین تھی. مجھے جب بھی ان سے کہا کہ حج کو جائیے، وہ کہتے ہیں کہ اتنا پیسہ تو میں بیٹھ کر کھاؤں گی حج وغیرہ جاؤں. حج کو نہیں جا سکے. تو پیسہ انسان کو نہیں دیا تھا، نہ مادی چیزیں جاتی ہیں، اللہ کی توفیق سے ہوتا ہے. اس لیے ہر وقت آدمی اللہ کا شکر ادا کرے اور اللہ سے توفیق مانگے، ہر نئے کام میں آگے بڑھنے کی توفیق مانگے، حصہ لینے کی کم سے کم کچھ نہ کچھ حصہ بھی ہو جائے تو وہ بھی کافی ہے. جیسے بتایا کہ یہاں لوگوں نے کیا کچھ کیا، قربانی دی، 5,000 پاؤنڈ جمع کیا، وہ جو ہے بریانی بیچ کر کس طرح بیچ کر، دیکھنے میں تو لگتا ہے کچھ بھی نہیں ہے، لیکن اللہ کے خزانے میں جمع ہو گیا. اب اللہ جو ریٹرن دیں گے اس کا اندازہ آدمی نہیں کر سکتا، وہ تو مرنے کے بعد ہی ملے گا. اس لیے مولانا آپ فرماتے تھے کہ بچے سے کہو کہ کپڑے اتارو میلے، تب نئے کپڑے پہننے کو ملیں گے. وہ کہتے نہیں، کپڑے تو میلے اتاروں گا نہیں، نئے کپڑے پہنا دو مجھے. تو کون ہوگا جو اس کو ایسا کرے گا؟ اس لیے فرماتے تھے کہ آدمی یہ تو چاہتا ہے کہ جنت ملے، مرنا نہیں چاہتا کہ مرے بغیر جنت مل جائے، کیونکہ ناممکن ہے. وہ تو وہاں جا کر پتہ چلے گا کہ کیا ہوا اور کیا ہوا. ہر حافظ پٹیل صاحب رحمۃ اللہ علیہ نے اب جو پایا ہوگا وہ کوئی کہہ نہیں سکتا. ان کی جو قربانیاں ہیں، بھائی صاحب پٹیل صاحب مرحوم ہو گئے ریٹائرمنٹ میں جا کے، اب ان کو ان کی کوششوں کا بدلہ ملا ہوگا، یقیناً ملے گا. جنت اور دوزخ ایسی ہی ہے جیسے دنیا میں مکہ اور مدینہ ہے. جیسے اس کا ہمیں یقین ہے، جیسا اس کا بھی یقین ہے کہ وہ آخرت کی زندگی ہے. اس لیے آدمی کوئی بھی نیک کام کم نہ سمجھے، بلکہ اس کو اپنے غنیمت سمجھو، موقع ملے تو اس میں بڑھ چڑھ کے حصہ لیں. اور ایک بات میں بار بار عرض کرتا رہا کہ ہم یہاں آئے ہیں تو یہاں کوئی کھیل کود تماشے کے لیے نہیں آئے ہیں. ٹرپس لوگ کرتے ہیں, گروپ لے جاتے ہیں, لیکن یہ ہمارا ٹرپ جو ہے کچھ اور ہی تھا. گلوں سے سوز خاروں سے خریش لینے کو آئے ہیں. گلوں سے یعنی پھولوں سے, سوز خاروں یعنی کانٹوں سے خریش جلن لینے کو آئے ہیں. گلستان میں ہم اپنے دل کو بہلانے نہیں آئے. تو دل کا بہلانا نہیں تھا. یہ انبیاء علیہ السلام کے قبریں ہیں, مقامات ہیں ان کو دیکھ کر آدمی کو لرزہ طاری ہو جائے. میں کہاں آ گیا, کیسی ہستیوں کو دیکھنے کو آ گیا. جیسے میں نے عرض کیا تھا وہاں کہ یہاں آ کر ایسا لگا کہ اپنے خاندان کے کچھ لوگ بچھڑے ہوئے آج ملے. بالکل ایسا محسوس ہوا کہ اپنے لوگ ہیں, سب اپنے ایک حصہ تھا زندگی کا تو ناقص تھا, اللہ پاک نے اپنی رحمت سے پورا کرا دیا. تو وہاں جب گئے تھے تو کیوں گئے تھے, کیا زندگی میں لے کر آئے تبدیلیاں, انبیاء علیہ السلام کی زندگی سے کیا ہم فائدہ اٹھا رہے ہیں, کیا ہم نے اس میں اپنے اندر تبدیلی محسوس کی. اللہ پاک اس کو ایسا بنا دے اور بار بار حاضر کی توفیق فرمائے. حرمین شریفین کی بھی حفاظت فرمائے, مسجد اقصی کی بھی حفاظت فرمائے. اور وہاں کے بچوں کو دیکھ کر, بڑوں کو دیکھ کر عجیب کیفیت ہوئی. میں تو ویل چیئر پر تھا, مولانا کریم صاحب کے والد صاحب مولانا کریم صاحب رحمۃ اللہ علیہ کی ویل چیئر تھی. میں نے کہا چلو اچھا اللہ تعالیٰ ان کی برکتیں, حافظ صاحب کی برکتیں ہمیں نصیب فرمائے. زندہ ہے, انتقال ہو گیا, تو اللہ پاک وہ برکتیں نصیب فرمائے. تو ان کی ویل چیئر پہ یہ سارے جو ساتھی تھے وہ مجھے بار بار لے جا رہے تھے. تو یہ دیکھا کہ جہاں ویل چیئر پھنستی تھی, رکتی تھی, تو فوراً بیٹھے ہوئے لوگ, فلسطینی لوگ آگے آ کر اس کا مدد کرتے تھے, اٹھا دیتے. اللہ اکبر. اللہ تعالیٰ نے ان کو ایسا اخلاق دیا ہے کہ انبیاء علیہ السلام کی اولاد ہوں گے, کچھ ہوں گے اولاد, کچھ ہوں گے. تو وہ ان کے اخلاق دیکھ کر یاد آ جاتی ہے انبیاء علیہ السلام کی, کیسے معزز لوگ ہیں یہ لوگ, کیسے پیارے لوگ ہیں, لیکن ان کو ستا رکھا ہے لوگوں نے. اللہ پاک اللہم ربنا لا تجعلنا فتنة للقوم الظالمین ونجنا برحمتک من القوم الکافرین. اللہ پاک انہوں نے نجات عطا فرمائے. اتنی بڑی دیوار, اتنے کلومیٹر لمبی دیوار بنا دی کہ وہ ادھر نہیں آ سکتے, ادھر نہیں آ سکتے. حالانکہ دیواریں توڑی گئی نہیں دنیا میں, جرمن میں برلن کی دیوار توڑ دی گئی, لیکن یہاں دیوار بنائی گئی. عجیب غریب دماغ ہے. تو اللہ پاک جو ہے ان کی مدد فرمائے. تو ان کے بچے پر دیکھ کر رونا ہی آتا ہے کہ بیچارے کیسے اچھے ہیں لوگ ہیں, اتنے خلیق لوگ ہیں, اتنے روحانی لوگ ہیں, لیکن کس طرح ان کو ظلم و ستم میں ڈال رکھا ہے. اللہ پاک ان کی ظلم و ستم سے نجات عطا فرمائے. تو آپ سے یہ درخواست ہے کہ آپ سے بے حد موقع ہے, دامے جرم سفر بریڈ فورڈ اور حافظ صاحب رحمۃ اللہ کا مقول وہ ہے کہ پوری دنیا میں دین کی خدمت کر سکتا ہے. تو یہاں تو کہنے کی ضرورت ہی نہیں ہے. بس یہ ہے کہ اس حصے سے غافل نہ ہوں اور اپنا حصہ برابر ڈالتے رہیں, اور موقع ملے تو جو جا سکتے ہیں وہاں جائیں گے. اللہ ہم کو عمل کی توفیق دے. روشی بڑی ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. یا اللہ جو کچھ بھی کہا سنا گیا, جو بھی کیا گیا سب کو قبول فرما لیے. اللہ کے رسول میں اخلاص عطا فرما لیے, قبول فرما لیے. یا اللہ جو ساتھی محنت کر رہے ہیں اور جو محنت کرتے آئے ہیں, یا اللہ جتنے برسوں سے بھی کر رہے ہیں, آپ کو علم ہے, آپ ہی کے لیے کر رہے ہیں. اللہ اتنے دور ملک میں جانا اور وہاں مدد کرنا, اللہ آپ ہی جانتے ہیں کس نیت سے کرتے ہیں. اللہ قبول فرما لیجیے, نیتوں میں اخلاص دے دیجیے. اللہ بار بار وہاں جانے کی, وہاں کے لوگوں سے بھی ملنے کی, اور وہاں کے مقامات کو زیارت کی توفیق فرمائے. اللہ ہم سب سے راضی ہو جائے گا. اللہ حرمین شریفین کی حفاظت فرمائے گا. بار بار حرمین شریفین کی حاضری کی توفیق فرمائے گا. اللہ جو خیر کی دعائیں رسول اللہ کے معاف مانگی ہمیں پوری امت کا فرمائے. ان شرور سے رسوارا پانا چاہیے, ہمیں ساری امت کو محفوظ فرمائے. صلی اللہ تعالیٰ سبحان ربک رب العزت عما یصفون, سلام علی المرسلین والحمد للہ.
Just quickly, something that we missed out, the plaque that we received as an award, the Masjid Nurul Islam and BD7 community. So anybody will want to see it, it's at the front here. We've got the legal documents as well, or any questions about it as well. Food will be served now upstairs.
Please, all the brothers, proceed to the hall upstairs, and no one should leave without eating. Alhamdulillah, food original Sunni meat. Please go to the hall upstairs. Jazakumullah.